So what's up?
Um, Not a whole lot, honestly. I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just kind of vibing today.
Sorry, I try and come into this with like I try and come into like every episode with like a cleansed palate, just kind of like starting from zero, see where the vibes take me. But like I'm just coming off the end of that movie, and I like there are residuals,
Yeah.
and I know we're in the cold open, so we're not allowed to talk about it yet. I believe anyone listening, believe me, I know the rules of my own podcast. But if you feel some vibes coming from me, you'll find why. You'll find out why later. But ignoring the vibes, how's your week been?
Um, I mean, obviously, kind of trying to, navigate around the elephant in the room.
Yeah, we were supposed to record this on Tuesday. We were supposed to record this on Wednesday this week, right? Which was
Yeah. Which was
and then that kind of
a very normal day.
for anyone listening in the far flung future. This previous Wednesday was the first of the 17 coup attempts by Trump supporters
Yeah,
to overtake the government.
yeah, this was before the Q shaman built that mecca for himself. So
Oh my god. Oh. Well, the Q shaman could not. Well, no, that you were thinking of the wrong Q guy. The Q shaman was canceled after the first one because of his communist sickle tattoo. Remember?
right, yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it is just like I. It is just the funniest thing in the world. These like I have a great deal of sympathy for people who have been caught up in QAnon because it is like designed to prey on a certain group of people. And it's not to say that like every single person who's doing QAnon is like innocent or anything, but like the influencers are truly terrible people. And it's just really, really funny for me for someone to spend 4 fucking years ingratiating themselves into this like group of like very harmfully spreading these beliefs that like hurt people and like end families, and then it just like it feels it's so karmic because he showed up at the Stop the Steal rally, and now all the QAnon people think he's a pedophile because he's got the sign on his hand.
Yeah.
And no one will believe him that he's the Q shaman.
Yeah, it's like the same thing happened to that the guy who was doing all the Save the Children rallies, where it's like, he like gets all this clout into like QAnon stuff, and then when the mainstream news starts covering, everyone's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" He does like he wrote a song and he mentioned pizza, so he's part of the deep state.
I missed that. I missed the Save the Children guy's pizza song.
Yeah.
Like if you're a QAnon person, like how do you make that mistake? Like you have like you have like a dictionary of like you remember that scene in the Captain America the Winter Soldier when Bucky Barnes gets activated?
I have not seen that movie.
Like that scene where the guy is just reading like family,
okay,
home,
yeah,
red, 14. Like they have those words committed to memory, and they can just never say them. Like they can't say pizza, they can't say red shoes, they can't say I've forgotten all the other code words that QAnon loves to dive into.
Can't use the number 17.
No, they love 17.
Okay,
17 is good.
That's the one you can use. But then
yeah, that's the Patriot symbol.
But then if Nancy Pelosi does it, well, 1 times 7 or 7 minus 1, that's a 6. Infamous Satan number. Yeah, there you go.
How many letters are in Nancy Pelosi's name? 5 and 7. Wait. Fuck, her last name's got 6. Never mind. Fucking. Never mind. Fuck.
How many letters are in Nancy Pelosi's name? 666. Wow.
She's got 6 letters in her first and last name, and that's why she's a Homestuck troll.
No. Nancy.
Hold on. Is Nancy short for anything? I gotta find this out. Is Nancy just a given name, or is it short for something? No. Damn.
Now, I'm looking at Wikipedia, and it says the name Nancy was originally a diminutive form of Anne, which, it seemed...
That makes it even further away from it being a valid troll name, so this is nothing.
Yeah. Nancy Pelosi Homestuck, though. I'm like rotating it in my mind.
Okay, so you said that, and that legally means that we have to start the podcast now.
Fair enough.
Like, I danced around it. I did say it was a valid 20, but you saying the words Nancy Pelosi Homestuck means that we have to put the theme music in right here. Welcome to Fear Baiting, everyone. It's your number one ludicrous podcast. I'm Sara, and I would like to know what's your fantasy? I'm asking that to my guest today, Antigone.
Hi, I'm Antigone, and they call me the White Dr. Torture.
I'm always saying this about you.
It is
when you kill me in electrical, you are being the White Dr. Torture. Antigone, this is your first time on the podcast, so introduce yourself, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, all that good shit.
Okay, yeah. Hi, I'm Antigone. I with regards to my horror movie status, I am mostly what scientists call a crybaby wimp. I think the scariest movie I've ever seen in theaters is Super 8. And it's I covered my eyes when the creature was on screen. And if I remember, I think Super 8 was a PG rated movie or something. No, there was probably
that
PG
sounds about right. That was who was that? George Lucas? That wasn't George Lucas, was it? Was it Luke? Was it Georgie?
I don't think it was George Lucas.
Who was it? It was like a big director who I
J.J.
can't
Abrams.
remember. Oh, J.J. Abrams. Yeah, that is a big director. You know?
Yeah.
You know how the Shrieking Shack talks about big movies? J.J. Abrams is a big director.
Big director. The scariest movie I've seen in my whole life was Signs. And I did have to
listen. When that alien busts up that birthday party, it's scary. We've covered this on the podcast.
Yes, it's I was watching it at my grandparents' house, and when that happened, I was like, "Haha, I'll be right back," and I just stayed in the kitchen for 10 minutes.
Listen, when you're young, things get you.
Yeah, but I feel like I've been slowly warming up more to the idea of horror stuff. I'm a big Junji Ito fan. It's just I guess it's just seeing those freaky little guys move around is the part that gets me. God,
when they're small and they're moving, it's not good.
Yeah, that reminds me that the one other horror movie experience I'm remembering I had is with the second Halloween movie, Halloween 2.
That's a good fucking movie.
I will take your word on it because it was my dad just put it on one night and I just caught the scene where it's the Silver Shamrock, broadcast, and the kid has the masks on. Or the kid has the mask on and the thing happens and his head just turns into a pumpkin and a bunch of spiders come out. And
no, that's Halloween 3. That's Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Halloween
Michael Myers
3,
is not in that one.
Okay, I knew it's one of them.
Still a good ass movie. I'm going to say it's still a good ass movie.
Yeah, it's just...
There are people who hate it because it doesn't have Michael Myers in it, which is that's coward shit.
Right. Yeah.
The history of Halloween is really, really interesting to me because I know we've talked about this before on this podcast, but it's been a while. I'm just always so enthralled by the fact that they were because the thing is that Halloween 1 and 2 is basically one story just split up across two movies. And then, because the original intention of Halloween was to be like an anthology series, like 1 and 2 were not supposed to be like the precursor for the entire Michael Myers franchise. And you saw that with 3, Season of the Witch. And people got so fucking pissed at Season of the Witch because they're like, "Where's Michael? Where's Mikey? Where's our boy? I want to see my boy."
Right. Yeah.
And so then for the 4th one, they're like, "All right, fuck it, you get Mikey back." And they made some other Michael Myers movies. Some were good.
Some were not.
Some were, yeah, some not. That's the word I'd use, yeah.
Yeah. The, see, like, on that front, I feel like it would have been more acceptable if Halloween 2 was the scary Silver Shamrock one, because then it's like, okay, yeah, this is, you can obviously see
8 more days till Halloween, Halloween.
Yeah.
8 more days till Halloween, Silver Shamrock. It's a good song, banger.
Club banger.
Club banger. Anyways, so
Speaking of
we watched a
anthology
movie this week.
series, though.
We watched a movie this week.
Yes.
Speaking of anthology series, we watched Fantasy Island from 2020. And the first 3 pages of my notes are going to make it sound like I really, really liked this movie. And the first half of this movie, I really, really did like. I don't know if I will like it again, knowing what I know about the end, considering it kind of like, you know how like The Sixth Sense, when you get to the end and you see the twist and then you watch it back and you're like, oh, and it makes it so much better now that you know the twist.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the opposite for this. Like, I know how this ends, and as such, the rest of it is...
Yeah. The movie mysteriously ends like 45 minutes in, and we love that. Just,
yeah.
I have my hands over my eyes. I do not see it.
Yeah. So this movie opens with a woman running through some jungle on this island. It's late at night, and she's running from someone. She goes into an office and she tries to call somebody, and it's like, hey, come help me. And the voice on the other end is like, oh, I know exactly where you are. I'm coming to get you right now. Oh, it's because you're one of my guests. Surprise! And then they like pull her out from under the desk, and then they take her away for later. They do like some weird fight choreography here, and it's not good. But, like, they do it.
Yeah.
The cinematography is, like, bad here. It's just, like, out now. The rest of the cinematography in this movie is, like, not bad, but, like, this brief action shot is just... It just looks like doo-doo ass.
Well, like, where she gets, like, pulled back, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that feeling like a very out-of-place shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we just see this, like, she gets pulled away, and we see, like, the nameplate on the desk, and it says Mr. Rourke. Who could that be?
I'm thinking.
We jump forward. Some woman's running on the beach, and she's really excited to see a plane, and she's like, the plane, like in the, like, remember the TV show? Do you remember the TV show?
I remember it. I saw it and I clapped.
Oh, and the plane lands and we meet. I have like a fucking like that one gif of Beyonce, but I have that except for it's Ryan Hansen, because I fucking love Ryan Hansen. I was introduced to him in Veronica Mars, and he is just like, whenever he shows up, I'm just truly delighted. He plays a really good bro.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I couldn't think of anything else I've seen him in, but like he really does like a solid performance in this film.
Oh, he's great. He's truly great in Veronica Mars.
That was the one with God, what's her name? The girl from The Good Place,
Eleanor Shellstrop,
right? Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Trying to think if there was anyone else big on that show. Meg. Who is the one who was in Scott Pilgrim? Is that Meg Whitman or Mae Whitman?
You are honestly
one of them is like a recent actress, and the other one is like an old actress. Hold on, okay. So it was not Meg Whitman. Oh, Meg Whitman is also not an actress.
Oh, okay.
She's a board member of Procter and Gamble. She was also the CEO of Quibi.
Oh, are you serious? Oh God.
But no, she was she Mae Whitman, I believe. No? Who the fuck was in Veronica Mars then? What the fuck? Her name is Tina Majorino, and I don't know why I thought she was Mae Whitman. They do look a little bit similar, kind of.
There's an M in there.
It's been a long time. Yeah, there is. There's a. It's been a long time since I watched Veronica Mars. It's a good show, though. I should rewatch it.
Okay.
Ryan Hansen's here. Michael Pena is here. No one else is here, really. But we
Jimmy
see
Yang is here.
Ryan Hansen is... What's that?
Jimmy Yang is here.
I don't know. I mean, I know that I know who he is in the movie, but like I don't know him from elsewhere.
I know that he has a comedy special on Amazon Prime. I haven't seen it, but like he seems like a cool guy. He has chill vibes.
Yeah. He and Ryan Hansen, JD and Brax, they jump off the plane, and Ryan Hansen jumps off and shouts, "Yo!" And Jimmy Wong jumps off and shouts, "Low!" And they're brothers.
Yes.
And they're very nice together. We meet the whole cast. We meet JD and Brax, the two brothers. We meet Melanie, the hot girl. We meet Gwen, the wannabe MILF. And we meet the ultimate bootlicker.
Yeah.
The biggest bootlicker we'll get to him, but like the biggest bootlicker you can possibly imagine.
I forgot what like the character's name was, so like for half of my notes I just have
Pete?
I think it was Patrick, but like in half of my notes I just have him as Boot Boy.
Oh yeah, that is what he is. Boot Boy, isn't he?
He truly is the bootest of boots.
God. Patrick is his name. We also meet Julia, who is like the head assistant to Michael Pena, Mr. Rourke. And she's like, "Oh yeah, Mr. Rourke is getting things ready, but we will, and now we gave you a questionnaire, a 1-page questionnaire, and this island will do your fantasy." I'm gonna do that like 1 or 2 more times, but that definitely wasn't the last one. I'll stop eventually, but that.
I mean, you can get plenty of mileage out of it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, because why do my notes just say all? Oh yeah, okay. Because Julia is there and she's like, "Oh yeah, we'll make all the fantasies will happen." And then JD and Brax high five each other, and someone's like, "Do you guys high five like always?" And they just like high five each other and are just like, "All the time, baby," and it's great.
Honestly, like, and we'll talk about this more throughout the thing. I would love to just see like a JD and Brax movie. Like, there is a scale in my head, and on one end it's Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and on the other end it's the hypothetical JD and Brax movie. I need like
the
more
sequel,
of, like,
the first sequel in the versus Evil universe.
Yes, JD and Brax.
I think Tucker and Dale. Yeah, I think Tucker and Dale versus Evil is actually a sequel to the TV show Todd and the Book of Pure Evil. Just a little joke for all my God, what is the niche that reference will reach? Like Canadian metalhead stoners who were like metalheads and or stoners like a decade ago? I don't know. I had a girlfriend who showed me that show, and I thought it was funny, but it was also very mid-2000s. Anyways, what happened? Oh yeah, Boot Boy tries to give one of the like the wait staff at the place money, and the guy's like, "Oh, there's no need for money here." And then he's like, "Huh, okay, that's weird." Everyone kind of gets settled in, but Josie gets a nosebleed, and we the audience see it, no one else does, and we're just like, "Oh, that's weird."
Yeah.
Well, moving on.
The nosebleed is like one of the. I'd say it's like up there with someone coughing into a tissue and then you see blood as like, if you want to signify ominous shit is happening, like that's like the go-to thing. You just like hit the big button in the editing.
Well, I think
does that.
I think coughing up blood is like more a sad thing is happening, whereas like a nosebleed is like some fucked up thing is happening. Like there's some psychic powers at play, maybe,
yeah,
or
like a Stranger
someone's
Things
brain
11.
is being rattled.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a Stanger Things 11.
A Stanger thing.
But so Gwen Stanger thing.
Stanger was my
Gwen
least
is
favorite Metallica album.
Oh, I don't get it, but I'm sure it's funny.
There's a Metallica album called Saint Anger.
Oh,
That's all I have to
say. Okay. Ooh, got there. All right. Ooh. Oh my god. Sorry.
You're good.
There's some footprints in Gwen's bathroom, and she's like, huh, that's weird. Anyways, I will go walk over to the mirror and freshen myself up, and then in the background of the mirror, I will see a sewer man, but there won't be a sewer man when I turn around. Also, the footprints will be gone. Who was that? I don't know. He's going to show up again, though, a lot of times before we find out who he is in the last, 15 minutes of this movie.
Moral of the story, there was a sewer man, and then there wasn't.
There was a sewer man!
There was.
But there was a sewer man. There wasn't, and then there was, and then there wasn't.
Yes.
Anyways, they all convene in the bar, and they're all drinking, and Melanie is being extremely flirtatious to Boot Boy. She's like, "Hey, let's go suck and fuck," and it's just Boot Boy's just like, you're not a boot. I'm not horny for you. You're not leather, and you don't go in my mouth.
You're not a systemic form of oppression.
But this is also a scene where we get a really good thing where it's where JD and Brax get asked, oh, you two guys are really brothers, because Brax is I think Jimmy Yang is Chinese, I want to say.
Yes, he's from Hong Kong.
Yeah, he's from Hong Kong. And Ryan Hansen is not. Ryan Hansen is from Milwaukee, California.
Yeah.
Fountain Valley, yeah. And Jimmy Yang, Brax is just like, bro, you're being extremely racist. Also, you got a racist haircut, which
to be fair, he does.
But then they're like, we're just razzing you. But then JD's like, we're just razzing you, bro. Yeah, his dad married my mom when he was a little baby, and now we're brothers. Yay! Woo. Which is cute. I think they're cute.
They are. They're such not to keep harping on it.
Yeah.
They're truly my two favorite characters.
They are. JD also has a really good moment later where he's where they're where they're all talking about Melanie comes in and is like, hey, I'm gonna double fist these drinks, and then she walks up to Boot Boy and is like, what's your and I wanna know what's your fantasy, and then he's like, whoa, you're being really forward, and she's like, well, the question was to the room, what's everyone's fantasies? And then they start talking about how the island could possibly work, and JD's like, oh yeah, it might be LARPing, and then he's like, not that I know what that is. I heard about it from nerds and shit.
It's super cool though.
They talk about Reddit, but then they all split up to go do their fantasies. The boys get carted off to some big sexy pool party with a bunch of models. Well, I guess we can just until they reconvene. Do you want to just split up everyone's fantasies and just talk about them in isolation?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so I guess we can start with JD and Brax, because they're the first ones that happen. So JD and Brax go to this party, and I love this scene. This scene is great because they go there, and JD and JD's like, yo, all these babes are everywhere. I'm gonna get so drunk. And then he talks to Mr. Rourke is there, and he's like, yeah, and Brax is like, what, you think some women are gonna, I'm not, this ain't working for me. And then JD is like, oh, don't worry, bro, I told him you're gay. And I was really worried for this moment, because I thought that it was gonna be I thought Brax was gonna be like, bro, what, you told him I was what?
Yeah,
bro. But then a bunch of just extremely muscular dudes just step out from the from the weed tent, and he's like, okay.
Brax has
this scene is just really funny.
Brax has an iconic line where it's he sees all the hot guys and he thinks oh, you think this is gonna satisfy me? I have multiple layers. And then you see there's a dozen bongs behind the guys, and Brax says, I have 2 layers.
Listen, the guy knows what he wants. I can't blame him. I respect him. I gotta say, these are some doo-doo ass bongs. You listen, this is a fantasy island, and my fantasy island does not have fucking plastic bongs.
Yeah,
you give me glass or you go the fuck home.
Yeah, there's just like a Coke can with like a sippy straw coming out of it, and you gotta make do with it.
Like we joke, but like he's literally just drinking, like he's literally just smoking out of like a $20 acrylic bong that they probably bought like at the stoner store down the road from where they were shooting. Yeah. But they're like, okay, yeah, let's have some sex and bang, and then they wake up they're like, oh yeah, let's party. They wake up the next morning.
Oh wait,
and they're like decompressing their.
Before that happens, I think like while Brax is smoking up, I think like for a second he sees
a sewer man, right? He sees
the sewer man, and then he says, I have to switch.
He sees a sewer man and is like, damn. Yeah.
He has to switch to CBT. That's his thing now.
Listen, if your weed's making you hallucinate, you gotta like you should probably like have that shit checked out. That's probably laced with something that you don't want to be a part of.
Talk to your dealer.
Yeah. Talk to your dealer, be like, bro, what the fuck? What did you lace this with? But oh yeah, there's in the pool where this party is happening. There's a guy on one of those like those like not like jetpack, those like hoverboard things.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Like the fucking like where you hook up like a water source to it and blast water at the bottom. And he does like a backflip, and then later on there's a guy like on a jet ski just doing standing backflips in the middle of the pool, which is like frankly impressive with that little real estate to work in.
Yeah, they're going for it.
Yeah. But so JD and Brax go have sex with their fantasy partners, and then they come back the next morning, and then they're like, damn, that was lit last night. Brax is like, yeah, I had some pretty good sex, and JD was like, I had big sex too. We boned twice. And then Brax calls over the girl whose name is Chastity, and he's like, Hey, Chastity, did you tell me, JD was just telling me all about last night, and Chastity's like, oh yeah, he cried a lot, talked about Jenny, and Jenny's like his ex, I guess, who had a bad
breakup.
A bad time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at the cast right now, and I just found out that Dave Bautista was originally supposed to be in this movie.
Oh my god, who do you think he would have played?
I mean, so the original cast that was thrown together was Michael Pena, Jimmy Yang, Dave Bautista, and Lucy Hale. So Maggie Hugh, Portia Doubleday, and Ryan Hansen were added later later that year, but Bautista was taken off the cast list. So probably just another guy on the flight, maybe.
Yeah, that's valid.
Maybe he was gonna be Ryan. Maybe he was gonna be Ryan Hansen's. Maybe he was gonna be JD.
Yeah, I'd say either him or maybe I could see him as like Patrick or wait, no, it isn't like is Dave Bautista like I don't know enough about the man. It's like
he's Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that. I was gonna say I don't know enough about his like personal politics, if he'd like be gung-ho as being like a cop and a soldier and like whatever.
I think
else.
He's like an okay guy. I don't know about that though. But yeah, we'll get to Boot Boy in a little bit because fucking JD and Brax are like, okay, we're gonna ditch the pool now and take a look at the rest of this estate. Goodbye, everyone. Oh, we also meet Alejandro, right? That's JD's boy toy, or Brax's boy toy.
Yes, I think I know there's a joke later that like he has also named his like gun Alejandro.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because they go inside the building and they're like, okay, let's go take a look at this place that we're staying. And they're like, oh shit, look at these cool suits we've got. Okay, let's go to the garage. There's an armory. Oh, there's a panic room, bro. Okay, let's go check out the armory. And they go down to the armory and JD is like holds a big gun between his legs and he's like, oh yeah, this is Alejandro, right? And Brax is like, oh actually he's a pacifist, but oh you mean his penis? Yes, yeah, very correct. They also find some grenades, and they load one into a baseball pitching machine,
Yeah.
and just launch some into the beach water.
They're just having a time.
Yeah, but it breaks bad, right? Because the next time we see them is like they're hanging out in in just like some common room, some lounge room, and they hear some gunfire, and they're like, oh, that sounds like gunfire. I wonder what that is. Guess this place seems pretty realistic. And then JD is like, oh, hey, a laser pointer is. Oh, hey, that's a laser pointer. And there's like a green laser dot on Alejandro's head, and then his head explodes like JFK.
Yeah. His head just does that.
And they're like, oh. They're like, oh, fuck, oh, shit, we gotta go to the safe room. Okay, girls, it's really funny the way that they call, like, you know that video of, like, Billy Eichner shouting, let's go, lesbians, let's go!
Yeah.
It's very much that for this, where he's like, let's go, models, let's go! Because he doesn't want to say girls, but he will say models, because he respects girls.
Yeah, and that's their profession, so it's good.
Uh-huh. So they go into the room with the panic room, and they call Michael Pena, and they're like, hey, Mr. Rourke, this is what's some fucked up shit's happening. And he's like, oh yeah, that sounds like Kalashov's guys. And they're like, who the fuck is Kalashov? And then all the girls lock themselves in the panic room without them, and then some like guys with guns bust down the door, and JD and Brash are like, we surrender. The next time we see them, they're being interrogated by the Russians, who are like, "Hey, you killed our boss. Where is the money and cocaine? I will kill you. Show me where the money and cocaine is."
Really quick,
but
though,
what's that?
Oh, just really quick. I did want to say, like, there's another very good JD line where it's like when they're ready to get into the panic room, he says, "I feel just like Jodie Foster in that Jodie Foster movie."
That's pretty good. Yeah. There are some like references to other movies that fall completely flat in this one, but there's also some good ones. Yeah. So so they're like, oh yeah, okay, we'll tell you where the drugs and money are, even though we don't know where they are, but we'll tell you where they are. We've been lying to you. We know where they are. They're down next to the garage, which is where the armory is that we learned earlier. And Brax goes down there with them, and he, while in the middle of like being like, okay, I'm about to show you where the money and cocaine is, he like puts a baseball into the baseball machine, the pitching machine, I guess it's called. Yeah. And that distracts them enough for him to like go behind a door, a very thin wooden door that gets absolutely blasted with like AK-47 caliber, like gunfire. Brax is fine on the other side of it, but then he's like, they're like, oh, you can't save yourself. Your brother won't save you either. And he's like, yeah, well, what about Alejandro? And the Russian guy's like, who the fuck is Alejandro? And then a shotgun blast obliterates one of the guys through the door. Like, it blasts a hole in the door, and it blasts a hole in the guy.
Yeah.
That guy now has a cacioing hole.
Yeah, it's like a perfectly, like, just circular...
hole. That's the exact spread pattern of buckshot every time.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like when you join a Team Fortress 2 server that has no random bullet spread.
See,
and you just shoot a hole in a wall.
I was going to say something like, you know how in like a cartoon, like, you know, a character will run through a wall, and then like Johnny Bravo leaves a perfectly Johnny Bravo shaped hole or whatever. I was going to say that, but I realized, like, a bullet-shaped hole is just a circle, so that doesn't really work.
Bullet-shaped hole is a fucking dog shit Alice in Chains song. What happens next with JD and Brax? I'm trying to... Because Brax fights his way out, and then... he does like a hostage situation with the grenade, and is like, okay, you guys gotta, if you don't let me go, I will explode all of us. And then he's like, okay, reunite me with JD. And then they go to reunite, and then that's when everyone else shows up. So now we're going to jump to someone else's story before we get to this.
Oh, that reminds me though. I think after Brax like blasts a hole in the one guy's chest, don't you see like the mysterious liquid come out of that dude?
Oh yeah, you see the mysterious black goop that comes out of all the sewer men.
Yeah, the sewer fluid.
Yeah. Um, who's do you want to do? I think we should save Melanie's for last, probably.
Yeah, I think that would be most
Uh,
fitting. Do you want to
I think maybe.
go to Patrick's next?
Yeah. So Patrick's wish that he explains to Melanie is that he wishes that when he was a kid, he wanted to be a soldier because of reasons, but his mom said no. So he decided to eat a different kind of boot, which was to eat the boot of cop. He said, "Okay, I can't be a military man. But I'll be the next best thing." He's like, "Okay, my mom won't let me be an army man, but I really want to kill some people."
Yeah.
Without facing any consequences, so I will instead become
He
a
said,
cop.
"What is like
Um,
the second most racist job I can do?"
like it's and the thing is like when you learn more shit, like because you learn later on that like his brother died in the war, right? Like and his dad died in the war, right?
Yeah.
Like like
the only thing I
and
can
his fantasy is to his fantasy island is to do war. I guess they're like not realizing this is going to be like a real thing at this point. They're all like there's like a various stages of disbelief that everyone has to get through. That the only people who don't have to deal with like the oh shit this is real type stuff is JD and Brax, which is fun.
Yeah.
Because so Patrick Boot Boy gets driven out to the middle of nowhere in the forest and gets shoved out of the Jeep with his bag and stuff, and then he gets run up on by like a small platoon of soldiers who are like, "Who's this guy? Oh, I've never seen him. He's got dog tags though, but he's not one of ours. Let's take him to the lieutenant." And then they bring him back to like their base camp. And the grenade from that JD and Brax launched into the water is it goes off and they're like, oh fuck, that was okay, we should get moving. Get
Oh
moving.
shit! I actually didn't realize that. I just thought like it was a second grenade.
Yeah, no, anytime like gunfire happens, it's like someone else's story is happening.
Oh, okay. God,
Um
now I'm just getting mad about like what a good movie this could have been.
right? Like
Yeah.
um they go back to their base camp and they meet the lieutenant who Patrick is like, "Oh shit, you're my brother." And he like tries to do like, "Oh, I'm going to tell you some stuff that only your brother would know because I don't know what's happening here, but I am your brother and we've been transported." And then the guy's like, "Psych."
Oh wait, no, it's his father.
Yeah. He thinks it's his brother first because he makes a couple of wrong guesses about the remember like he says patch and shit about his kids. Like when he's like, "Oh yeah, what's my son?
Right.
What's my son's name?" And like I think JD Patrick tries to call the name of his brother's kid, but instead he calls his it's instead Ali because he was a fighter, just like he was a fighter as a kid, so he got called Ali. They're calling him the
Yeah.
White Muhammad Ali.
They are.
And there's a really stupid moment because where Patrick has been KO'd and then he wakes up and one of the guys who's not his dad takes a picture of him and is like, "Hey, hey, dazed and confused," like that movie that came out last year, right? And that's like that is like the dumbest possible way you could possibly say like, okay, this one's taking place in 1999.
Yeah. Okay, so like this drove me up a wall because like when he said that I thought, okay, when like I can backwards engineer this. When did Dazed and Confused come out?
98.
And Dazed Okay,
I just looked it up. Oh, sorry, 93. Why did I? Okay, the 3 looked like an 8. Okay, I think I need a new prescription glasses, maybe.
Oh, you're valid. But like so this guy canonically dies in 1994. So I was doing all this research as to like what US military operations were going on in 1994.
Uh-huh.
And then like as I was doing this research, like the dad's like, "Yeah, we're going to Venezuela tomorrow." And I became like just a little tea kettle, and my face turned red, and steam started shooting out of my ears.
Explain to the listeners.
Sorry, what happens in the movie?
No, explain to the listeners what's making you boil over with rage.
I mean, it's just like so. There was the Iraqi no-fly zone enforcement operations, first intervention in the Somalian Civil War, the Bosnian War, and then there was a mission in Haiti, and that was all going on in 1994.
And they
There
and
was
then they said Venezuela.
Yeah, and they said Venezuela, and like the only thing I can think of is like this is my headcanon, is that the dad was on a secret mission to
Hmm.
assassinate Rafael Caldera so Hugo Chavez never gets pardoned. So like all I'm saying is just like rest in piss.
Yeah, because what happens is the dad is like, hey, you've got, why do you have my dog tags? These are mine. And he's like, okay, you're my dad. And you died in a secret mission to Venezuela by saving your guys, and you fell on a grenade for them. And he's like, well, that's fucked up. I'm going to Venezuela tomorrow for a secret mission.
Yeah.
They get
And
back
that
to
also raises the question, like at the beginning, like they see the guy has dog tags, and they say, "Oh, it's like these aren't our dog tags." But you'd think that they'd like recognize if they like looked at it enough to see the like style difference, they would know that it's their commanding officer's name on there. You know?
yeah, yeah. So they get back to the base camp, and then the next morning, Patrick, Boot Boy and Boot Boy Senior, they grab up they grab up their stuff, and they're like, okay, we're gonna do a secret recon mission. You guys stay here, and then they just like start to fucking bounce and just try and go home. They have a tussle because Boot Boy is like, Dad, you gotta, those guys are gonna die if you don't save them, and you have to, Dad, get back here right now and die. You have to die for these mans. And his dad's like, being a hero is bullshit. I'm gonna eat some cereal and say that anyone who's heroic is just dumb as hell, and anyone who died saving other people didn't have a reason to live on their own, which is proven later on in this movie, because that guy does sacrifice himself, and he is like, he doesn't exist. He's like not a guy. He is a man made of goop.
Yeah. Like this, God, this like scene made me so mad. It's just like boot man and boot boy are talking, and just like the son wants his dad to just be dad so bad, and like we like we all know dads are like that, but like one would surely imagine if you're seeing your father for the first time, like since he died like 16 years ago or whatever, your reaction would just be like, go be dead again. Like, die for me right now to prove
Right.
that you are capital M man.
Die to me right now so that I may become Jin. Okay. What happens next in this? Because they have their tussle, and Boot Boy pulls a gun on his dad, and I don't remember how they get out of this until they get to the point where they're like back at the estate where JD and Brax are.
Yeah, I honestly have kind of like a blank space in my memory too.
Hold on. Give me.
think
Yeah,
it's just,
I'll
like,
cut this out in editing, but I'm gonna scan my notes for a moment.
Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Um. I've got nothing from this point. That it just kind of happens, I guess. Like I don't have anything in my notes about it. They may have just like truncated it. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. How does their fight even end? Because I remember them being like in their standoff, and then I feel like the next time I see them, they are like crashing JD and Brax's party.
Yeah, I think either they may have been distracted from the gunfire with like the Russian guys,
Mm-hmm.
or like it like with the way this part of the movie is, it may have legitimately just been like, you gotta die. No, but you gotta. Okay, fine.
Yeah, that might have been the case. There was a line from the JD and Brax stuff earlier that I wanted to talk about because there's a really good line. Because they're talking back and forth. Like one of the Russian guy, Brax at one point is like, "This is supposed to be a fantasy," and the Russian guy is like, "Well, maybe it's not your fantasy." Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
But then later, after Brax blasts that perfectly spherical hole in the door, the hole that he blasted through the door is like on physics problems, that's the hole they have you imagine when you're doing problems based on Euler's principle. Ooh. Physics jokes!
Yeah, one for the geeks out there.
One for the geeks and the gamers. Anyone ever imagine anyone ever imagine a horse that is shaped like a frictionless orb
I'm
with
picturing it in my
with a
mind right
diameter
now.
of 6?
Tell you what, you go on DeviantArt, you can find some pretty good pictures of perfectly spherical horses.
Oh my god. Oh Christ. This will probably get cut from the podcast, but I feel like I've been like leaning into my like hyena laugh lately, and I really enjoy the fact that I have been. It feels good to just like lay back and let one rip.
It does. It's a liberating experience.
I love myself and my cackle.
Valid.
Thank you. God. so so before, right after Brax blasts an inflated Princess Celestia shaped hole in the door. God damn it! I wanted to get through that sentence without laughing. So after he does that, he says, "This isn't your fantasy, asshole."
It's a good comeback.
It is. So then we go to let's do Gwen's next. I feel like Gwen's is I feel like we should save Melanie's for last, because Melanie will just like let us dovetail nicely with the rest of the gang, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So Gwen goes to talk to Mr. Rourke, and he's like, "Hey, what's your fantasy?" Regular. I ran out of I ran out of ludicrous checks that I could cash. If I say it one more time, he's gonna kick through my door and
Yeah,
issue me a very strong.
Paying him royalties.
What's that?
We're gonna have to start like paying him royalties with the Patreon money.
Yeah, right. Like he's gonna kick my door and give me a season and say hey, fuck you. Here's a cease and desist. And that's gonna be how fear baiting ends. Issued a cease and desist by Ludacris for saying "What's your fantasy?" too much. The thing about "What's Your Fantasy" is that like I've heard that original song a handful of times, and the only words of the original I know are "red carpet dick going roll out," and I only remember that because that's the only part that I remember, because every other word in that song has been replaced by the Punch Up the Jam version. I was just sitting on my bed earlier while I was like gearing up to watch this movie, and I was just like muttering to myself like, "I'm gonna take you to the intermission of a high school football stand and fuck under the stands."
God, I'm pouring one out right now for Pump Up the Jam.
All right, punch up the jam.
Punch up the jam. Right? What did I say?
You said pump up the jam. Cringe.
Right. That's cringe. Canceled.
So what, where was it? Oh yeah, so Mr. Rourke is like, "Hey Gwen, what's your fantasy?" And she's like, "Well, I wanted to meet a man. There was this man in my life. His name was Alan. I wanted to have a baby with him. He proposed to me 1 year after we'd been dating, but I was in a dark place and I thought no one could love me. So I said, no, I would like to do it again." And he's like, "Okay, there, open those doors. There's that restaurant that you turned him down in." And she's like, "Oh fuck. Oh shit. Okay, I can do this again."
Well, and this is important. Before that happens, Mr. Rourke is reading from the little pamphlet or whatever she had to fill out. And her exact wish is, "Happiness and I aren't exactly compatible. Now, mistakes and regrets, we're old friends. So if I had one wish, I guess it would be to get to do a do-over." And one, that's important for, like, plot reasons, but, like, also just, like, saying you want to do a do-over, like, we all know the first rule of wishes is you never make a vague wish, because then it's like, oh, I want $1 million, and then 1 million white-tailed deer, or just, like, fucking up your house or whatever.
Yeah.
And also, just, like, it does sound like a poem I wrote when I was 15.
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm feeling like I feel like the monkey's paw aspect of I've never seen the original, but I understand that there is like a monkey's paw aspect to it, and I don't feel like that's entirely like. I mean, I'm gonna say that for the end. Actually, I'm gonna cut that out and save those thoughts for the end because we're still in the middle of recap. But so he's like, okay, go say yes to your husband. And she opens the door and her beautiful husband is there, Alan. And he's like, oh yeah, today is the day. And he's like, she's like, oh shit, they flew you out here? Oh my God, did you have to pay to get here? Oh God. And he's just like, what are you talking about, babe? I saw you in bed this morning. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. And she's like, you're being weird, but okay. He proposes to her eventually. She says yes. And then they cry. And then it cuts away. The next morning they wake up in bed together.
You get
no. The next morning,
sewer man. Right?
Yeah, the next morning she's asleep, but then sewer man comes. But then sewer man grabs her, and then she's like, "Oh God, oh fuck!" And then she wakes up with a start, and then Alan is like, "Baby, what's wrong?" And she's like, "No, I'm fine. And she looks at her phone, and there's like a photo from their wedding day, and she walks out to Mr. Rourke and is like, "Damn, that's a good Photoshop." And he's like, "You've been married for 5 years." Ooh. Ooh. I don't know why I turned it like curly for a second there, but
and you're just like you're laying on your side and like running around in a circle.
Yeah. God, he did do that, didn't he?
He did that.
So Mr. Worker's like, you have a child now. Ooh, her name is Lila. She's a little baby, and she's gonna say cryptic things to you in the same way that all children do. But it's gonna be a horror source for those Twitter things that people post all the time, where like some kid will be like, "Mommy, I'm scared of the monster standing behind you," and then the person looks behind them and there's no one there. And of course,
yeah,
but because like
I thought where you were going with that was like. You know how people on Twitter say, my 5-year-old child came up to me and said, Mother, why has dangerous Donald Trump so grievously endangered our democracy?
Yeah, that too. And also, Mommy, there's a monster behind your head. But the kid just says like some typical like I swear to God, I've seen a Twitter thread about a kid saying this kind of shit to their parents, because kids will say some accidentally like there's this comic I remember reading where like someone's like just drawing a comic about having their kid, and they're like, "Hey, can I play with you?" And the kid's like, "No, you will never visit my house when you're older." And like the parent knows that the kid is just like a 2-year-old, so they don't really know what they're saying, or like a 4-year-old or whatever age a kid would be saying that shit at. But so they can't cry about it because their kid just said that they will never live together. But like it's just that the kid just like gives her like some accidental childish malice, because the kid's building a sandcastle and is like, "Oh, I love my sandcastle, but you'll never be able to live here with me, Mommy, and I'm sure you know the reason why. Tee-hee-hee, I'm gonna go run and skip down the beach now."
And then to the movie's credit, like the dad says, "Yeah, don't worry, I'm not allowed to live there either."
Right. It's cute.
Next, I think, is when Gwen starts to like capital R realize some stuff.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, this is not right. This is fucked up and not right. I have these fabricated memories of my daughter and shit." And she like goes back to Mr. Rourke and is like, I want a second fantasy. I asked for a do-over, and are you willing to risk your wife, the island, your island wife? And this is when we find out about Mr. Rourke's. This is not when we find out about it, but we'll talk about it now anyways, because we find out that there is some contract. Mr. Rourke had a wife who died, and he wished her to come back to life, and the island did that for him. But it made her, he has to grant other people's wishes, and if he doesn't, his wife will explode. But she also kind of like dies and comes back to life a lot on her own, which is like why we saw her nose bleeding earlier. Yeah, spoiler alert, it's Julia's his wife, in case you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But so she's like, "Hey, you have to give me my second fantasy. I requested a do-over. I did not request to marry my this man." And he's like, "Well, tough titties." And she's like, "Oh yeah, look at your hand." And his like ring finger is like phasing out of existence. And she's like, "Are you gonna really risk your wife on that?" And so she gets sent back to a time like 6 years ago, prior to meeting Alan, or whatever, like a time ago before meeting Alan. And she there's an apartment on fire. There is a building on fire where she has to go save a guy. She wants to go correct her biggest mistake that she thinks that because she let someone die in a fire forever ago, and she's like, okay, I gotta fix that. If I don't fix that, I'm a horrible person. I'm gonna tell this to Julia and also to Mr. Rourke. Okay, now send me back in time so I can fail to save this guy again, and then also run into JD and Brax in the same building, and also run into Boot Boy outside at his car,
Yeah.
being a cop. And then how does that scene resolve again? I'm truly I'm truly forgetting.
Okay, so I think what happens is she runs upstairs. There's a. Or wait, no, first she's outside. She sees the fire. She sees Patrick. Patrick doesn't recognize her. And also doesn't, like, do anything
Mm-hmm.
to, like, save the guy who's in there. He just kind of puts his hands in his pockets and looks to the side and says, "Ooh, yeah, maybe let's wait for the fire department." And
Yeah.
then.
And then she's like, okay,
And
I'm gonna
then
go back in, and then
And then JD and Brax are coming down the stairs. They also don't recognize her. She gets upstairs, tries to break open the door, tries to save the guy, and gets like pretty far, I think, before she
mm-hmm.
collapses, like because of smoke inhalation.
Right, and then Julia saves her.
Yeah.
Um. So, oh, I remember what happened that caused the two guys that caused Boot Boy and Boot Boy Senior to go meet up with Brax, which is that they get a call about a hostage situation that's occurring at the estate, which is the fact that JD and Brax have been taken hostage by the Russian guys.
Right. Yes.
Let's see. Gwen kind of disappears for a while, right? And then
Yeah, I think it's only when like the rest of the crew are like back at the Fantasy Island
right.
headquarters or whatever.
Yeah, they. Sorry, I'll cut this out. I'm just completely zoned. So the last person is Melanie, and we find out that her fantasy is to get some good old fashioned revenge on a bully, because she was treated like shit as a kid and had to go see someone that she called Dr. Torture, which
Dr. Torture. Yes.
Dr. Torture.
Dr. Torture. It's his God-given name.
His God-given name of Dr. Torture.
Name of the year, like semi-finalist, Dr. Torture.
This is the Dr. Torture is like the Dr. Torture lost the year that Jim Bob Ghostkeeper won.
Yeah. I was gonna say Dr. Torture is Dr. Innocent Doodoo's worst enemy.
Because he's innocent. He'll never confess to anything. He just did a little innocent doo-doo. Okay, so yeah, Melanie, her fantasy is to get revenge on her bully, and she gets taken to like the basement of this compound and is like, okay, it's like a flash game where she's like, torture the stick man, and there's like a bunch of buttons you can press to make like a nuke hit him and like a katana guy come in, except for in her case, it's like buttons that make electricity happen, buttons that make water come down, buttons that make you watch a video of her cheating on her husband and then post it to Facebook.
Yeah, and there's also, like, when she's in the elevator going there, first of all, Mr. Rourke says, push the button that has, or, like, go to the floor that has no name, and it's just, like, a picture of a snake in a circle, and, like...
Go to the snake floor.
Yeah, go to the snake floor. There's nothing ominous going on. It's fine.
Right. But yeah, she her childhood bully of Sloane, who treated her like shit, and... she is like, after she uploads the video to Facebook and there's like a video feed of Sloane's husband calling her and being like, hey, what the fuck? Why did you post a video of you getting your back walls blown out by my best buddy Mike? Why'd you upload that to the internet? And she can't talk because she's bound and gagged in the torture chamber. And at this point, Melanie is like, oh shit, oh fuck, this is real. And, Okay, so the reveal at the end of this movie is that Melanie is evil, and she helped orchestrate this entire thing with the help of Michael Pena, Mr. Rourke.
Yeah.
I don't get why she's down here, she's on the other side of some two-sided glass, like the other, like the people, like Sloane can't see out, but oh my god, sorry, Sloane can't see out, but Melanie can see in, and I don't know why she's doing all this acting like she doesn't know what's going on while no one else is down there.
Yeah, I was really racking my brain on that. Like, the only thing I could come up with was like because she was recording it,
Oh yeah, that's
right?
right. She is recording it to show
So
to her as evidence later that she saved her.
okay, yeah, so like that might be it, but also yeah, it does just seem like a lot of effort to put in when like you could have just not done that, you know?
Yeah, but it's whatever because because she's like, oh fuck, oh shit, this is real. That's the real Sloane on the other side of that glass. And then she's like, okay, I'm done doing torture to her. But then Doctor Torture walks in.
And like
Well,
he's
a man
dressed
in a
like
surgical
full.
mask. Imagine. So what happens is a man in dressed, scrubbed up, ready to do surgery. He walks in and he walks up to the two-sided mirror and takes off his surgical mask and reveals that his mouth is stitched shut. And she's like, Doctor Torture.
Yeah, because like earlier in the movie she said something like, "Ah, I hated talking to that guy. I wish I could just staple his mouth shut sometimes." And that like leads me to my next point, which is like Doctor Torture is probably like a psychologist or a therapist then, right?
Right.
So like there's no reason for him to be in like full
Right, but this
scrubs
is
other
don't
than the
forget.
fact that his name is Doctor Torture.
Well, don't forget that this one is not like Doctor Torture parentheses real. This is Doctor Torture parentheses zombified. But also like the
Oh,
other guys
okay.
who have been composed out of black goop are like, this movie's a fucking mess. This movie is a fucking mess.
Yeah.
But so Sloane is like, she or not Sloane. Melanie is like, oh fuck, okay, he's about to torture her. I need to do some adventure game shit. So what she does is she turns on she does the water from the ceiling, and then she turns on the taser button. She makes toilet water fall on them, and then
Yeah.
she tasers Mr. Torture, Dr. Torture, while he is while he has his hands on Sloane. And I'm I am certainly no expert on electricity. I feel like Sloane should have died here.
Yeah, you'd think so, unless it's a special type. It's like the special frequency of electricity that only like gets goo monsters and not human flesh. Like,
Right. That wavelength of electricity.
yeah.
Does electricity have wavelengths? It doesn't, right?
No, I don't think it does. I think it's just like different wattages.
And
I
voltage. Listen, we're two math geniuses. We're not two electricity geniuses.
yeah.
Well, geniuses.
I can tell you
We're two people pursuing a math degree.
I can tell you anything about any number, but do not say to me the word of electricity.
69 dialed in. 420,
Nice.
you know it.
Love
AC/DC, can't handle
Not
that
a
shit.
great band.
You're making me bread. You're making me do a bread box. What the fuck? Oh god. Anyways, so Melanie rescues Sloane from Dr. Torture and is like, "Hey, I also got captured and just escaped. I had a gun, I lost it. But hey, we're good now. Let's get out of here." And Sloane's like, "Well, okay." And they meet they meet a sewer man, not like the sewer man. They meet like a guy who like looks like he might live in the sewer, as opposed to a man who is spawned from the sewer, who is the sewer
Yeah.
man. Um,
Some men are born sewer men, others have sewers thrust upon them.
exactly. So this guy is like, "Hey, what's up? I'm here to save you." And we saw him earlier. He showed up in he showed up in Boot Boy's fantasy very early on. It was to be like, "Hey, you want to die? Then get out of here. Fuck you. Bye." And then he shows up again now and is like, "Okay, I'm gonna save you all. I'm a private investigator. We have to go to the source of the islands bad. And we have to go to the source of the island's bad. And they go there. They go there to the source of the island's bad, and it turns out that the fantasies are being created by a magic crystal that spews water, black slime. I'm not entirely sure what it does, but they put it in the drinks and the water of the island, and then when they drink it, their fantasies happen, and they make a wish, and they...
Yeah, it's... I am in this moment realizing that, like, this is what happened in the first arc of the Adventure Zone, right? Like, you have to drink from the, like, the jellyfish water, and then, like, you can understand what everyone's saying.
I mean, in that they are both imbibing a substance that is created by some otherworldly thing, yes, but I think
Okay, yeah,
I think that's about where the comparisons stop.
That's fair. It's actually like the myth of Hades and Persephone, and that someone puts something in their mouth.
Just to be 100% crystal clear here, Melanie was assigned male at birth, and you two were twins, and she turned. Sorry, I'm making fun of Griffin McElroy doing
okay.
Doing that. I had reason to re-listen to that recently, and like, I don't know who the fuck. Like, I'm sorry to get into the Adventure Zone type beefs here, but like, I don't know who the fuck I was 4 years ago that I thought that was like representation win.
Yeah.
Like. Sorry, I had reason to re-listen to that clip, and it's not good. I popped, like, listen, I'm not here to judge anyone who popped hard for it. I popped hard for that shit in 2017, but looking back at it, it's like, man, you could have done that 1,000% better.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So it's with Melanie and like
we're still in the water hell with Melanie, and this is when Sloane finds out that Melanie was the one who was a guest and is the reason that she was there, and they have like an argument. They get into a tiff. It's fine. They have an apology later. It's fine. But they see this like the water source, and like the guy, the sewer man is like, I'm a private investigator, and they sent me here to figure out what the fuck's going on here. And what the fuck was it? I don't remember the guy's name. He dies in like 2 scenes, but like he's like, okay, I got this canteen full of water. You hold on to this, Sloane. Smuggle this on out of here to my guy. Okay. Dr. Torture's coming back now, and he's gonna fight me, and I'm gonna launch us both off a cliff to our hopeful deaths.
Yeah. I just, like... Sorry, I'm also blanking right now.
No,
like,
it's fine.
I remember, like, when Dr. Torture, like, tackles the guy, and they both roll off the cliff.
Uh-huh.
I just feel like this part of the movie is, like... I think it's because it's the closest to, like, the actual main plot of the movie that I like it the least.
Yeah. It's just,
like,
it's all over the place. Like, I think if you watched these movies, I think if you watched, like, this just feels like someone took 4 scripts of a Discarded Fantasy Island episode, like, rewrote one of them to be a bigger plot, and then just, like, slapped them all together.
Yeah.
But it's whatever. I'm not mad about this movie in any way, shape, or form. I don't know why I'm so mad about this movie. I have no attachment to the original Fantasy Island in any way, shape, or form. But I digress. Dr. Torture and the private investigator get thrown off a cliff into the abyss. And they all reconvene at the hotel, I guess, at the resort. And they're like, okay, so we all knew this guy who died. His name was John. And they're like, how did everyone? What's that?
Before that happens, there was the scene with when Patrick saves JD and Brax.
Oh, right. Yeah. We before everyone regroups at the hotel at the resort, JD beefs it. He gets shot or he gets shot by a reanimated corpse. By a reanimated corpse of one of the Russian men, and Boot Boy Senior perishes, sacrificing himself to save everyone. And then they all regroup at the resort. They talk about this guy John who burned to death. they're like, oh yeah, we all knew him, and since we don't know how Melanie was there, Melanie is like, oh yeah, I had just met him. We were gonna go on a date that night, but I got cold feet at the last second, and he was not supposed to be in his house. He was supposed to be with me, and they're like, oh fuck, okay. So we all played a role in this guy's death somehow. Anyways, there's a plane coming, and they run outside, and Brax is like, the plane, like in the show. Do you get it?
Yeah, I get it. I'm clapping again for the second time in the movie.
It's great. And they then the Russians pull out an RPG and obliterate the plane from and just blow it the fuck up.
I did get a good laugh out of that. It's like it's such Newgrounds tier humor, you know.
It's like it's exactly just the fucking. It's literally just fucking that scene from Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they go back to the hotel and they're like, okay, we have to go stop the fantasies because they think that Mr. Rourke and Julia are dead Nick or John or whatever the hell his name's parents are. They think they're his dead parent, that they are his parents, and their wish is to have him be alive again, I guess.
Which is like, it is like a pretty far-fetched wish, because at this point, like, it's been established that Julia is, like, alive because of the island, or is the island, or something, so... And it's also been established that everyone gets one fantasy, so it does just feel like it's kind of... It does feel like a very nothing
that's
what plot.
That's what the Car Seat Headrest album was about, the wish of having a second fantasy.
God. That Bodies was actually about like all the sewer men.
Realize our wishes could fall apart any second.
When he said, "Don't you realize our bodies could fall apart at any second?" That was about the sewer man, and he just like turns to sludge and goo.
He just bursts into slime.
Yeah.
That's what God fuck, I know this guy's name. I keep forgetting what Car Seat Headrest man's name is.
Oh, Will Toledo.
Will Toledo, thank you. Yes. That's what Will Toledo was talking about when he he would speak. Sewerman would speak to you in song, but you can't sing, even though everyone can sing. Sorry, that's the one Car Seat Headrest song I know, and I'm really enjoying this line of jokes about Car Seat Headrest.
It's good.
God.
When JD got shot in the spine, he said, "My back is killing me, baby." That's another album.
Based on the setup, I could kind of tell, but I appreciate the explication anyways.
Okay, good.
Oh my god. So then they're all just like, okay, we have to go fuck off to the hell place where the crystal is, with the like where everything is. And there's like there's like a 15-minute sequence of them in like the caves and like all of them disappearing and having weird visions. A Sloan clone shows up, like a clone of Sloan.
Yeah.
JD dying shows up and talks to Brax. He's like, bro, my parent, I was always the favorite because they hated you for being gay. Oh no, I'm gonna die and turn into goop. I'm just an illusion. Bye.
Yeah, there's that. I think there's like a Metal Gear Solid thing where like a bunch of like all the people that Patrick killed like come out of the river to drag him down.
God, I forgot about that. But yeah, they all find their way to the crystal and the water source, and they're like, okay, let's blow this up. And then Melanie is like, not so fast. I just stabbed a boot boy. This entire thing has been my fantasy. My fantasy has been... Sloan ruined my life with all of my bullying, and everyone made me feel so unloved. And the first time I met Nick or John or whatever the fuck his name is, he made me feel so loved. And so we went on, we set up a date for the next day, and he didn't show up, and I waited there for an hour. I waited there for 2 hours, and I got home because I was like, oh, he stood me up. Sloan was right. I'm unlovable. But then I found out about the fire the next day, and I was heartbroken. I decided to kill every single one of you motherfuckers. And it's like,
so I've
been maladjusted. Listen, I was bullied. I
Yeah.
was bullied a lot. I've been stood
How?
up on dates. I
But
did,
like
like,
you don't do murder
the
about it.
motivation on this is just like someone comments on it later as if like that's enough to get out from under it, but it's just like it's so colossally dumb. Like it's so
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, Brax says like what the fuck? They went out once, and it's like I
They went on
appreciate
one
the joke,
date.
but like the script still did that, you know? Like
Right, like you can't lampshade that one away. It's like what?
yeah,
I just
it's
I don't know. I don't know.
it
This movie feels like it should be about like grief. Like this movie feels like it should be about like letting go of the past, but instead it's about like actually holding on to the past as epic as long as you can do it forever.
right.
Um, where was I? Oh yeah. So Melanie explains her big fucking master plan or whatever the fuck it is. And they're like, damn, that's fucked up. Okay. Hey, I'm Mr. Rourke and I have to let this whole thing happen because this is her fantasy. And if I don't, I'll lose my wife. And they're like, please, your wife would not want this. And he's like, sorry about it. And then he walks away. And then Julia, his wife, is like, you must think of them. You must do the thing for them. Surely something must be able to be done. And he's like, okay, them's the breaks. Let me go do something. And he's like, he walks back into the room. And is like, hey, Sloane, you get a fantasy too. And she like takes a big sippy of the canteen of water that had been bottled earlier. And oh yeah, they threw John the sewer man into the pool with everything. And he just
Yeah.
like dissolved into nothing because he's dead and he's like a zombie. And then Sloane takes a big swig and she's like, my fantasy is for you, Melanie, to be reunited, to make up with your lover, John or Nick or whatever. And then John or Nick or whatever comes out from like the pool and like yanks her in and like then she dies. But then she pops out for one last hurrah and throws a grenade out into the amongst them. And just like his daddy, Boot Boy dives on the grenade and explodes into a fine paste.
Yeah. He follows in his father's footsteps and just becomes just like sludge and particles.
I become sludge to transform myself.
Yeah.
Uh,
God, we can also like edit this out, but I have been like thinking of the line "I swallow sludge to transform
Right.
myself" in reference to the Geiger
right?
tiger.
Oh shit! That's so good.
Yeah,
Fuck. Okay, I need to get like a sequence now of Zhenya swallowing sludge to transform herself into the Geiger tiger.
yeah,
Fuck, that's good. Fuck. Okay, I'm literally making a new thing in Evernote called Commission Ideas. Thank you for that. I truly thank you.
yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
Sludge. Yeah. I swallow sludge to transform myself.
Oh, right. There's also this other thing where it's Sloane's wishes. I wish that Melanie and Nick or John or Chris or Dan or whatever the fuck the guy's
Yeah.
name is like I wish that they were together forever. And like this is what I mean about like vague wishes because it turns out good, but I think it would have been very funny if Mr. Rourke was like, okay, and like they just like have a big wedding, and like the rest of them do just die.
Yeah. So after Boot
Yeah,
Boy explodes into a fine paste, they all wake up in their beds as though nothing had happened. And they're like, okay, it's time to go home. And then Brax is like, actually, I'm gonna wish my brother back to life. And Mr. Rourke is like, you have to stay here forever if you do that. And he's like, oh, that's fine. I just want my brother to be alive. I had to move out anyways. So Gwen and Sloane hop into the plane, and the plane starts taking off, and they're like, "Hey, wait, Brax isn't coming." And then JD out of nowhere pops out of the front seat. He's like, "Yeah, I think he's staying behind." And they're like, "What? Okay." He leans out the window to wave goodbye to Brax, and Brax is like, "Oh shit, my brother's alive! Bye, bro." And then I literally like fucking threw my notes on my bed at this. Because earlier in the movie, there's a couple of references. Like, JD calls Brax T a couple of times, and there's a couple of references to a bad tattoo. And he, objectively, this is a hilarious tattoo. I have to get out ahead of this. But, uh, Mr. Rourke is like, "Hey, what's up with the bad tattoo I keep hearing about?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's some ink I got to get rid of. I lost a bet in college. I had to get the dumbest thing tattooed on me possible." And he rips open his shirt, and he has a tattoo on him, like right where his name, right where a name tag would go, that just says tattoo. Like, do you get it? Like the guy in the TV show, who was named Tattoo and said the plane.
Now, on the Wikipedia page, it does say somewhere that this movie, okay, serving as both a horror reimagining and a prequel to ABC's 1977 television series of the same name. So, like,
but that's not that.
If
it cannot be a prequel because they're talking about like Reddit and Bitcoin and shit in this.
Yeah, one, there's that, and two, like, not to be insensitive, but you know, the actor who played the original Tattoo, Hervé he was a little person, and Jimmy Yang is not a little person. So, like, it does raise troubling questions as to what happened, like, between now and then.
Yeah. What did you do to him, Michael Pena?
Yeah.
Oh God.
He made Jimmy Yang have the Cotton Hill surgery.
God, fuck you. Oh God.
Like, there's a movie about his life, and like that guy actually had a tragic life, Hervé Villachet, and like all I could think about during the last like 10 minutes of this is how much I would rather be watching like that movie instead of whatever this is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, looking through my notes, I have stuff like, I think I might actually like love this movie, this might actually be a good movie, and then it just abruptly stops and it's just complaining for a while.
Yeah, like, so on a scale of 0 to 5 sewer men, how many sewer men are you going to give this movie? Like, I think the first half of this movie is, like, genuinely really fun. If you just want to go and watch the first hour of this movie, and then turn it off, and then as a writing exercise, go write the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure whatever you can come up with is better than what they actually came up with. This ending just maybe... Like, everything just kind of falls to pieces looking back on literally anything.
Yeah. I mean, like you brought up, like, there's no reason for Sloane to, like, be acting like that. And even if it is to, like, give proof to... Or to Melanie, I mean. And even if it is to give proof to Sloane, like, she could have just not done that. And it's very transparently, like, just something being done for the audience.
Yeah.
I feel like on a scale of 0 to 5 sewer men, I might give it like 3 or 2.5, because like you're right, like the first hour is undeniably a very fun movie, and then it just like, much like the sewer men themselves, it just like dissolves.
Right. And I'm sorry if our I'm very sorry if our recap of this was a little bit all over the place. So was this movie. In my defense, I'm also going to give this. I think I'm going to give this one 2 sewer men. I would not like to cut a sewer man in half.
That's fair.
So we got questions.
Yes.
Jade at Core Penetration on Twitter wants to know, how many times do they say the plane in order to capitalize on the only thing nearly anyone who winds up watching this movie will remember about Fantasy Island? I believe they say it 3 times. Also, what fantasy of yours do you think they'd have a hard time making horror? Well, okay. Let me think. Can't talk about that one on public. Can't talk about that one on public. No, that one either.
I'm in kind of the same boat as you right now.
Because, like, the thing is that, like, fantasy is such, like, a sexually charged word. They, like, even reference it in the movie, right? Because they're like, what fantasies do people like? And Michael Pena is like, oh, mostly sex stuff. Like,
yeah.
Like, it does, but, like, I'm trying to think of, like, what are some, like, fantasies I have about, like, you know what? No. I think that my fantasy would be that I did not choose to go skateboarding on that day 3 years ago.
I mean, that's... Like to the credit of the question, it would be very hard to make a horror movie about not skateboarding.
It would be. Um, but
But
or maybe just like the I don't know, my fantasy to stop COVID, my fantasy to stop
yeah,
my fantasy to stop 9/11, my fantasy to stop, you know, I feel like at a point
yeah,
like if I know. The problem with this question is that, like, if I know that this is actually going to be a real thing, my brain is just like if I know it's going to be a real thing going in, I'm going to use it on something big, like wishing for no COVID or something. But like going in, and I just think it's going to be like they're just going to do their best to appropriate my fantasy. I'm not going to give them some shit like that. I'm going to like just come up with some freaky deaky sex thing and have them and be like, oh, let's have this happen. And then when a sewer man comes and touches, when a sewer man comes and touches my G cups, then I will be upset.
yeah. I I'm in like a parallel boat where like outside of the fantasies that you can't talk about in public, like how are they gonna make like yeah, I have a girlfriend and like we're just kind of snuggling in a bed and just watching anime or whatever. Like that's not a good horror movie, you know?
But what if there was a sewer man?
Yeah, we're watching a sewer man cry baby on the television.
Okay, all right. We're recommendations now. Fuck you.
That's valid.
Anyways, what do you have for recommendations this week?
Oh God. For recommendations, you know, uh, can I actually like have two?
Okay, that's fine. You do one,
Oh,
I'll do one, then you do another one.
okay, cool. So like my first, um, my first recommendation is the movie that they made about the original Tattoo's life. It's called My Dinner with Hervé.
Oh
That's
yeah,
H E R
I saw
V
that on
E.
the wiki. The Peter Dinklage is in that one.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage is in it. It's a and like I said, if you read about like the actor's life, he had like a very like he struggled with depression a lot and like you I how do I say this? Like he was like Tattoo lived a much harder life than you would have thought. Like not just in terms of difficulty, but also in terms of like, sex and drugs and stuff. And I don't know, it's just like I'm going to make a cold shot. I haven't seen it, but I think it would be like it just sounds interesting. Go check that out instead of watching Fantasy Island 2019 movie.
Hell yeah. Um, my recommendation this week is gonna be shit. All I've done this week is watch anime that I've already talked about on this podcast and can't I've already recommended ReZero twice. I can't recommend it a third time. Though it is really good, and probably even hearing me say this, it's way better than you think it is. It's not the waifu wars show that every fucking anime nerd on the internet turned it into.
Hmm.
I having watched the first season of it, I get really fucking mad thinking back about how that show was presented by all of the fans of it.
Yeah, that's
Like
kind of
like
the curse of fandom.
the thing is that like I will not deny that there are cute girls in that show. And a thing that's nice about it is that there are a lot of like pretty adult women in that show also. But
Right.
the show is about so much. Like every single horny anime boy about that show is like the exact antithesis of the protagonist.
Hmm.
Sorry, I'm just scrolling my Twitter now for a you know what? My recommendation this week is going to be the Twitter account of No Context 2000s Web. It's at NoCon 2000s, NoCon 2000s. And they just post like video clips of like internet stuff from the aughts that was popular, and it's like I've seen like stuff that was like popular in the 90s, like you see those stuff where it's like, oh, 90s commercials and stuff, and it's like that doesn't hit quite as hard as this stuff is all hitting. These gifs from Discord, these like bad Flash animations, this fucking Super Mario Brothers Z shit, like everything.
Oh wow. Nice.
It's a really good follow. Can't recommend it enough. What's your other recommendation?
Oh, my other recommendation is just because like I haven't seen My Dinner with Hervé. Like I wanted to say something that I know is actually good, and I'm sure that like you've already recommended this on like this podcast, but go watch Haikyuu.
It is good.
It's so good. Like for the first time in my life, I like get why people like do sports instead of being like the one person who's like, oh well, I call it sports ball actually.
Right.
Like it's I when like all this is over, I want to see like a volleyball game so bad. I don't care if like no one in the like girls high school not basketball volleyball team is going to do Rolling Thunder. I want to see.
You want to get out there. You want to get out there and support local volleyball team.
Yeah, exactly.
You now understand the epic highs and lows of high school volleyball.
I understand it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very regular about volleyball for the past couple of months. We all know this about me. Antigone, thank you so much for coming on this podcast. It was an absolute delight. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Antigone Progony, and that's anti-gone pro-gone. Gone as in no longer here. I don't really have any other podcasts to plug. I'm just kind of out here living my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Thank you very much to Matt GameCube, owner supreme of Noisepace.xyz, which is where this podcast and so many other ones are so graciously hosted. Other podcasts such as this one's Fear Baiting, The Wonder Years, which is the Animorphs podcast I do with my friends Blair and Satah. Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, the politics podcast that I do, and Special Grade Snacks. It's the newest one. I've been pushing it a lot, but I think it's because I think it's a good show, and the source material is also good. It's a Jujutsu Kaisen watch-along podcast. Truly delightful, in my personal onion. Thank you to Satah for providing the intro and outro music to this episode and all episodes. Thank you to Blair for editing this episode and also most episodes. Thank you to Antigone again for coming on this podcast. Thank you to I think that's all my thanks. So I got to head over to Patreon right now. If you would like to support the podcast, patreon.com/fearbaiting, $1 a month. When we get the episodes out early, you get them early. $5 a month, get your name right on the podcast and a message read. $10 a month gets you all of that, plus you can make us watch a movie. So I'm not normally shouting out $1 per month patrons, but I do just want to give a big holler to someone who just subscribed 2 days ago. Sensual Kazoo, thank you for your $1 patronage. I'm not going to shout out $1 every week, but if you join with a $1, I'll shout you out. So thank you very much to Michael Kaiser, Paul Moran, Kit Spindler, and Ducky Aisha. We love you all so much. We're on Twitter at Fearbaiting. I'm also on Twitter at Sunhatzhenya, SUNHATZHENYA. I believe that is everything. Oh, also, I don't mention it I don't mention it like ever, but Blair is also responsible for the podcast art. He made that shit. He's on Twitter at Blair Kitsch. Also, Satah can be found making music under people you meet. I'm sorry. Satah did the intro and outro music for our podcast. I know I already said that, but I did not say that you can find them under making music under people you meet outside of bars.bandcamp.com or just go to gaygothvibes.online. And I think that's everything. A little bit out of sorts for this outro, but until next time, I'm Sara.
I'm Antigone.
And remember,
you can put a fucked up guy anywhere.
Sewer Man. Good night, everyone.